So in the end, what was the TC for like Snap, Uber, and like Google?
Yeah, so it depends on how you calculate it, but basically around 300K for Snap and Uber, and then for Google about like 240K.
Damn, that's crazy. Before we continue this video, I just want to say thank you so much for Blinkist for sponsoring this video. Nowadays, people are so busy, we have full-time jobs, hobbies, friends, or like me, you have a YouTube channel to run. So you can't just find the time to sit down and learn. There is tons of knowledge you can learn from reading books, but with the busy schedule, that's hard. If you wish you can get the main insights from the books and apply right away to your life, then I really recommend the app called Blinkist. Blinkist is the only app that takes the best insights, the need-to-know information from thousands of nonfiction books and condenses them down into just 15 minutes so you can read it or listen to it. A lot of nonfiction books tend to repeat itself or give a lot of example. So that's why I like Blinkist, because it gets straight to the point and it tells you in 15 minutes. I use Blinkist right before bed for 15 minutes, allowing me to absorb all that knowledge before sleeping. I've read these books and I highly recommend you check out the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People because everyone talks about it. And also Homo Deus, which is cool because it talks about a prediction of humanity with technology. Now, the first 100 people to go on Blinkist.com/Joma will get a whole week for free, so you can try it out. And also you get 25% off if you decide to go for the full membership. Now, these spots are going to go fast, but for people who get in there, I highly recommend reading those 2 books I mentioned, which is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and Homo Deus. Now remember, the first 7 days are completely free, so you can cancel at any time. No problem. All right, thanks for coming, Cyrus. Do you want to say your name first?
Sure. Wait, do I look at you? All right.
Yeah, just like yeah, just look at me.
Yeah,
what do I do with my hands?
I just instantly got nervous. All right, start over. Okay.
All right, yo, thank you for coming, Cyrus. Yeah. And yeah, so let's just have like a casual conversation because, I'm not try hard anymore. So we can just say, say your name, what do you do? And then just so that you could get some context.
Sure. I'm Cyrus SWE. I just recently joined Uber.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so I met Joma at Facebook. We were on the same team in July 2017, and then I was there for about a year and a half, and then went through interview prep cycle. So yeah.
Nice. So wait, so what college did you go to?
I went to a small liberal arts college in Kentucky. I had about 1,400 students, called Center College.
And 1,400 students?
Yeah, 1,400 students total.
Wait, the total?
Total, yeah.
Like 4 years? 4 years. Wow,
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. And wait, what does liberal arts college mean? I actually don't know.
So basically they try to emphasize like a general education. So trying to like produce well-rounded students. So when I was there, I wrote a lot of like papers. I was originally a philosophy major, so I switched to computer science junior year. So I was a bit late. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so the reason why I brought you here is because you have a very famous post on CS career questions, right, on Reddit. Yeah. So I'm gonna put that in the description. But can you kind of tell me like what that post is about?
Yeah. So basically, I spent a lot of time reading the subreddit before I joined Facebook. And I saw a lot of posts talking about people joining, like Facebook, Google, big tech companies, and a lot of them had, like pretty impressive backgrounds from like Stanford, U Waterloo, Stanford of Canada. But I came from a small liberal arts college. I didn't really know anybody who had gone to any of those companies. And so when I did eventually make it out there, I thought I could, give back and talk about how I, made it out.
Okay, so you did have a CS degree, but it's from like a shit college, right?
Pretty much.
But then when you came out, you got what? You got a job at like software?
Yeah, so I graduated in the beginning of 2015, and I joined like a big financial company, still in the South. And then I joined a startup, and then throughout this time, I had been getting like interview calls for like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, but I just didn't really focus on studying and didn't really do well. And then finally, I got another call from Facebook, and I decided that this was the moment.
So you're gonna go try hard mode?
Yes, I went try hard mode. I went all in. I studied like 120 hours in like a month while working full time. So really grinded and just wrote a post about that experience.
That's perfect because I just quit my job. You know it, but my audience doesn't know. I just quit my job as a data scientist, and now I want to go back into SWE. You know, so I've already prepared and I've interviewed a lot, but I want to hear like your take. Like, how did you start? Like, okay, you know, you have your full-time job still.
Right.
Do you quit or no? You just study on the side? What do you do?
Yeah, I think ideally you don't quit because it's really risky. But it does depend. I have a friend who successfully quit her job and studied full-time, and she was actually also in North Carolina, and made it out to Silicon Valley. But so I think the benefit of quitting is that it's kind of like you get like a forcing function. You get that desperation. But obviously it's a big gamble. If it doesn't work out, you're kind of screwed. But yeah, ideally you keep your job and you study on the side. So yeah.
Okay. So you study on the side?
Yeah, I study on the side both times. Yeah.
So you just went back home and then started studying?
Yeah,
day?
so pretty much every day, I guess. But basically, yeah, I came up with a study plan and a schedule, sort of a timeline. And then one thing, so I just recently made another post, but one thing I talk about is that I think it really helps to have like quantifiable like goals, just because it's so easy to become frustrated in the beginning. And it's hard to tell like if you're making progress. And so my goals were to study, like 100 hours and to do like 100 coding problems.
100 coding problems, okay.
Yeah.
And what did you use for these coding problems?
Yeah, so I mainly use LeetCode. So LeetCode's really trendy right now, but I think
Did you pay premium for it?
Yeah, I did. I think it's worth it, just the return on investment. But yeah, so I did a lot of LeetCode. I think it's the most efficient way of studying.
So before Facebook, you did LeetCode?
I did some for
Facebook?
I did some for Facebook. I think I did about like 76 problems.
76 problems.
And then this time around I did like 130.
Hard, mediums, or easy?
Mostly mediums. I think mediums is the best bang for your buck. Easies, you can cycle through a lot of them really fast, but you don't really like struggle that much, so you don't really get that experience. And then hards are like you struggle too much, so you don't cover as much ground.
Okay, but your job at Facebook was as a data engineer,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. What do you do now?
So now I'm a software engineer. Okay. So actually, I guess similar to you, I wanted to transfer back to being a software engineer. But yeah, I didn't really find the transition too hard. I think interviewing, they mostly want to see if you can code and if you can show that through the coding interview, they don't really care.
Okay. So data engineer, they still ask you like to code stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, like algorithms and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did about 70 something questions, and was that like an overkill for Facebook, or was it?
Yeah, so for Facebook, it was a little bit overkill because that was a data engineering position. But this time around for like Uber and Google, it was about the right amount, I think.
So your goal was 100 hours like total? Until you start the interview?
Yeah, so I ended up doing about 120, but I think...
Wait, before Facebook?
No, sorry. Before Facebook, it was... I don't remember anymore.
Straight.
Yeah, sorry.
Your timeline straight.
I'm
making a video here.
Before Facebook, it was... I guess like 102
okay, 100,
or 120 or something like that. But yeah, I tracked my time just because I feel like if you only track problems, then you're like incentivized to like only do easy problems in a way, like subconsciously. And if you only track time, it's kind of like you're incentivized to be inefficient, like spend a lot of time per problem. Like it doesn't really matter. So that's why I kind of use both. Yeah, like a counter metric. Yeah, exactly.